All right, family, I am back live and direct. You already know what it is. Chauncey, aka the Black Separatist, with another great man of God media TV conversation. All right, family, I took a little hiatus. Like I say on my channel, I post videos at minimum once a week. But this past week I've been traveling, and so I wasn't able to post, the videos I wanted to post because of my travel schedule. But I'm back, locked and loaded, ready to go. A lot to talk about. I'm not going to talk about too much because I'm gonna break it up in different live streams. This is one of the live streams. All right. Before I start on my commentary, if you are new, once again, my name is Chauncey, aka the Black Separatist. On this channel, I talk about counter racism. I also talk about issues that affect Black people collectively as a group. And I offer my suggestions on how to replace this broken system of injustice, this broken system of racism, which is white supremacy, with a system of justice. So if you subscribe to that ideology, please subscribe to this channel. If you don't, you're basically wasting your time. Click off, stop watching the video. You're hate watching, you're trolling, you're just doing things that are pointless. All right. So it's good to be back, family. I was traveling. I was in Texas, doing some work, doing some projects, and Texas reminds me of Florida a lot, but it's another, white supremacist state. But I got back in town last night, man, and this feels good to be back home, and back home with the family and everything. So it feels real good. But it's a lot to talk about. A lot I want to share because I wrote down some notes since I've been traveling and what I want to talk about. And this is one of the first things I want to talk about. Like I said, I'm gonna break it down in different live streams. So I expect a live stream tomorrow. This whole week, man, I'm gonna be dropping a heavy bombs of information on my channel. But also there's a fight. Y'all know I'm a huge boxing fan. I'm gonna watch my boy Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev, man. I'm gonna watch that fight live, so I'm not gonna be on here for too long. But I just want to address this, man. Coping mechanisms for white supremacy. I know there's a lot of cooning, man. A lot of cooning to try to cope with white supremacy. A lot of cooning, man. And a lot of these Negroes, that's how they cope with white supremacy, by cooning, to feel like they want to be included in the dominant white society. Again, it's the illusion of inclusion. I've already broke that down in several videos. I'll post it up here once this gets posted on my channel. But the amount of cooning, man, is just incredible, man. The first thing I want to talk about is the potential cabinet members for Donald Trump. They have a shorter list now. And I've talked about him before, right? But the coon sheriff of the decade, Sheriff David Clark, who is now on the short list. Like he was before, he was a potential candidate among a bunch of candidates, but now he's on the very short list. So this is what the things you have to do, family, in order to be accepted by or quote unquote accepted by the dominant white society. You got to coon your way into their establishment. So this coon Negro, Sheriff David Clark, is now on the short list. Basically, the title that he's going to have is, I believe, there's something to do with Homeland Security. Yeah, Homeland Security Secretary. Right. So David Clark, right, the coon sheriff of the decade, is now on the short list to become Homeland Security Secretary for white supremacist Donald Trump. Right. Another example of the overt amount of cooning that Black people are doing just to become accepted by the dominant white society. You got Floyd Mayweather. I'll put it on my my Twitter timeline so y'all can see. Look at this. You got Floyd Mayweather. All right. Now, I retweeted this past Wednesday, and I was still out of town. I wanted to talk about this at that time, but Floyd Mayweather, a.k.a. All Lives Matter, right there, talking about whatever they talking about, acting like he wants to be included or accepted into the dominant white society with Donald Trump and his son. And, you know, he feels like he's entitled. He feels like he's privileged. He feels like he made it because he wants to be a billionaire. He's striving to be a billionaire. He's striving to, you know, cross-reference what all of these damn suspected and white supremacists, right? Taking pictures with the president-elect, Donald Trump. And, you know, the guys are notoriously known for just, he's a great boxer, of course, great boxer. But the flip side of that, you know, the guy has an extreme disconnect with his culture, with his history. And of course it shows. But another example of what you got to do to be accepted or try to be accepted in the dominant white society and to feel like, you know, you are getting in the door of making sure that your wealth accumulates. So that's his main concern, making sure his wealth accumulates, right? So that was Floyd Mayweather, you know, cooning it up with President-elect Donald Trump. Now, this is what I wanted to talk about. I'm going to address this also later, but not in this video, probably another separate live stream. Kanye West. I have not seen this video. Okay, I have not played it. I've only retweeted it. Kanye West, from what I've been reading, is basically saying that Black people should not be worried about racism. They need to stop talking about racism, et cetera, et cetera. We got to move past that and just, you know, continue to be dominated, mistreated, executed, beaten, disenfranchised continuously, but don't cry about racism. I'm gonna watch the video, man. I've not seen this video, but I'm gonna watch it and share my thoughts. So let me play this video real quick.
America will be less or more racist because of one of the other candidates. Specifically to Black people, stop focusing on racism. This world is racist, okay? Let's stop being distracted to focus on that as much. It's just a fucking fact. We are in a racist country. Period. Do not allow people to make us talk about that so fucking long. Let's talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. Stop talking about that, bro. It's racist, okay? It's racist. Radio racist, Hollywood racist, it's racist in a racist fucking country. Period. And not one or the other candidate was going to instantly be able to change that because of their views. I'm fucking lying. Hey, play it. You got the end of the one.
Okay, I don't know what the hell this nigga's talking about. He just contradicted himself, talking about we live in a racist country, but stop talking about racism. That don't even make no damn. Man, shut up, Kanye. That don't even make no goddamn sense, man. That just the extreme amount of cooning, man. And he also talked about he was going to vote for Donald Trump. I'm gonna play this video too. I'm not seeing the video. I'm gonna play the video right now.
That was kind of politically correct. I told y'all I didn't vote, right? But I didn't tell you. I guess I told you. But if I would have voted, I would have voted on Trump.
I hear some jeers, some boos. Yeah, man. Stick to music, man. Stick to, you know, trying to be accepted by the dominant white society. You married to Kim Kardashian. The the Negro catcher, always trying to catch the latest Negro. Stick to that, man. The level of cooning that, you know, people like Kanye West and Floyd Mayweather are doing to try to be accepted by the dominant white society, you know, is a coping mechanism for white supremacy. That's what it is. It's a coping mechanism for white supremacy. All right. You want to vote for Donald Trump? That's fine. You know, there's many black people who won't even say it publicly, but he said it publicly, that have voted for Donald Trump. So I'm not even mad at that, because again, you're going to have lost Negro coons, you know, talking about voting for Donald Trump and talking about we live in a post-racial America, you know, everything is, we're all connected, stuff like that. And we're getting our ass kicked on a daily basis. Collectively as a group, we're still on the bottom of the totem pole. All right. But the thing is, family, is guys like Floyd Mayweather, guys like Kanye West. All right. This is the amount of cooning, the amount of acceptance that you have to deal with when you are trying to assimilate yourself with the dominant white society. It's the level that you have to go through to basically just sell out your own racial group, only to accumulate your own wealth, right? This is the thing that you have to realize. When you're doing this amount of cooning and you're doing this amount of lost Negro talk, you know, it is not only a coping mechanism for white supremacy. It is, again, and I've addressed this before, it is a form of a mental illness. Because I've already said that black people, all black people have some sort of mental illness or mental disorder, whether it be post-traumatic slavery syndrome, cognitive dissonance, right? We have epigenetics, that's environmental factors that causes your thought processes to change based off your environment. You live in a low income area, stress, the surrounding things could affect you mentally and physically. And all right, you know, and these are scientific facts that we are affected by our surroundings based off the system that the dominant white society created. So again, the level of cooning that these guys are doing, they're just a coping mechanism for white supremacy. It's similar to the black church. And I've already talked about the black church before. You know, people want to just attend church and escape reality. It's like an escapism for 2 to 3 hours, right? Go to a black church. And, you know, of course, you know, the black church has accumulated over $420 billion since the 1980s. And what do we have to show for it? All right. And like I said, I've talked about this before. What do we have to show for it when black people collectively as a group are still being mistreated, dominated, subjugated, disenfranchised, etc., for over 400 years? And we had a white lash, that's what they say, a white lash, a white supremacist that voted in a white supremacist in office as President-elect Donald Trump. And people want to talk about, I've heard some people say, well, the only reason why Donald Trump won is because black people didn't vote. No. People like Tariq Nasheed, who else? There was somebody else who, you know, who promoted the no vote campaign. People like these guys, okay, they're great figures in the black community, right? Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to influence, collectively as a group, even if Tariq Nasheed or somebody else who said, don't vote, and someone joined in, our vote wouldn't have mattered anyway, which is why I said, go ahead and vote, but vote for your goddamn self. I wrote my name in on the ballot. That's what I did. I wrote my name in on the ballot because I said, I'm not depending on Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton to change my condition. I'm going to do it my goddamn self. That's what I'm going to do, my goddamn self. So, you know, that stuff is a farce when it comes to saying that black people were the reasons why Donald Trump, for not voting, Donald Trump got in office. No. The same people that voted for Barack Obama, that's white working class women specifically, the same people who voted for Barack Obama voted for Donald Trump. And it was a surge of white women voting for Donald Trump, a surge of them. They knew that he was a racist. They knew that he was a womanizer, a misogynist. That stuff did not matter. They put him in office because specifically because Donald Trump was speaking in their language. And that's white supremacist rhetoric. When you want to disenfranchise another ethnic group based off color by saying we want to build a wall from the Mexicans, right? His talking about Muslims, et cetera, you're speaking to these inner white supremacists. And that's why there was a surge of these voters that came out in droves to put Donald Trump in office. That's what it was. You know, that's what it was. But going back to the topic at hand, family, again, I just got back from traveling, and I came in last night. When I was in Texas, man, it was a lot. I seen a lot of people's cars, Trump supporters, you know, et cetera, man. You know, and again, you got to understand that we live in a system of racism, white supremacy. They control all 9 areas of activity. That's economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. It's that simple. It's that simple. So you can coon your way out of a situation and, you know, want to be accepted in the dominant white society because they're going to use you for their own personal agenda. And then when they're done with you, they're done with you. So when you got people like Kanye West, you know, talking about I would have voted for Donald Trump, talking about, yeah, we live in a racist country, but don't talk about racism. You know, he's trying to set himself up for something. He talk about he wanted to run for presidency in 2020 or some shit like that. I mean, this dude is all over the place. He's all over the place, you know. And of course, Floyd Mayweather with his All Lives Matter, having meetings with Donald Trump, president-elect, you know, things like that, again, is an illusion of inclusion, and it's a coping mechanism for white supremacy, you know. And when it comes to dealing with white supremacy, me personally, this is one of the things that I do. I have a YouTube channel and I talk about counter racism. You know, I offer my suggestions on how to replace this broken system of injustice, this broken system of racism, white supremacy, with a system of justice. So having this dialogue is the first step. Also, another coping mechanism you can talk about, in my estimation, is Black economic empowerment. You know, something that Dr. Boyce Watkins talks about all the time. He's very keen on that. And also, one of my longtime financial advisors, Robert Henderson Jr., who's based out of South Florida. Y'all can check out the interview I did with him a few years ago. You know, multi-millionaire financial advisor, a certified financial planner. All right. And, you know, he's not as well known as people like Dr. Boyce Watkins, but he has been in the business for over 30 years. And he is one of the very few certified financial planners. So Black economic empowerment is another great thing to deal with white supremacy. Another one is firearms, right? Right to bear arms. And I'll talk about Black people and firearms, right? And things of that nature. I talked about the Second Amendment, that Black people specifically never had the right to bear arms. And I still stand on that. But at the same time, we have to protect ourselves and govern ourselves accordingly. So firearm training and things of that nature is very important. Shout out to the new group, Black Guns Matter. I support that group 100%. And again, like I said before, the only thing that we need to solidify that movement is to make and manufacture our own firearms. It's just that simple. Make and manufacture our own firearms, right? And that's very essential. It's essential that we have to have some kind of firearm training, but also make and manufacture our own firearms, right? And another thing that I always talk about in terms of dealing with white supremacy and a coping mechanism for it is technology, learning and understanding how today's technology works. Again, you're watching me live on Google live stream. No one understands how that works. No one understands how Google, you know, again, Google, the search engine is the #1 website in terms of traffic in the world. Google owns YouTube. YouTube is the second most popular website in the world in terms of daily traffic, because they average over 60 billion hits. 60 billion hits a day. All right. That's powerful. So we got to know and understand coding, programming, engineering, architectural, et cetera, et cetera. That's what we need to understand. All right. You know, so that's something that's essential in terms of empowerment for Black people. And another thing I also talk about is real estate, learning and understanding real estate. Being a homeowner is a must. Gotta be a homeowner. Once you become a homeowner, understand equity, you know, understand how to accumulate and make sure your home is you know, the value is going up on your home, et cetera, et cetera. And if you are financially aware enough, you can purchase another home, rent it out, and have another stream of income, et cetera, et cetera. So that's very vital and very important. Real estate is something that we need to understand, and it's very important in terms of our Black economic growth. All right. So that was just my suggestions on dealing with and coping with white supremacy. You don't coon your way out of white supremacy. You don't do that. All right. You got to deal with Black empowerment. Okay. And those are the things I just addressed earlier, as I talked about. All right. So I just wanted to make this video real quick, family. Like I said, I have a lot to talk about throughout the week, so expect all kinds of content. I just wanted to give you guys a real quick video about my thoughts about what happened this past week with Kanye West and Floyd Mayweather and things of that nature. And, you know, those are the wrong ways to deal with white supremacy. You know, cooning your way out of a situation, wrong way of dealing with it. All right. So, yeah, I just wanted to make this video real quick, family. I'm going to go ahead and watch this fight. Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev. Can't wait for this fight. I'm just excited. So excited for this fight. All right, family, I'm going to sign out. Like I said, I wanted to make this video, this live stream real quick. Thanks for tuning in, for watching me live, family. Once again, this is Chauncey, aka the Black Separatist, signing out. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.